welcome. So our goal today is to tell you about what's worked in our programs, along with some other things that will make your lives a little bit easier over time. And we also wanted to offer you the opportunity to meet with us over lunch and to also hear your suggestions of things that you'd like to add to the discussion. So how do you get in the door? When I think about survivors and getting to know them and getting to be trusted by them, I like to think about a group of people holding hands and standing in a circle. The only way to get in that circle is if somebody who's already in the circle reaches out their hand and grabs you and pulls you back in. When we think about what happens during retirement, one thing is that there's a lot of extra time, there isn't a lot of structure, and also there's a loss of, and I think this is a biggie for survivors, there's a loss of a workplace family. What ended up happening with a lot of the survivors I knew is they didn't have a lot of family after the war, and they kind of created little families of the people that they worked for the last 40 years. So the idea of retiring isn't just retiring from a job, it's also leaving the regular source of emotional support that they've had all these years, and that can be very frightening, and it should be very frightening. So here are some practical implications. Oh, and I also wanted to mention, when there's too much time and not enough structure, what do we think ends up happening? I mean, they really kind of get stuck in their memories of their losses, of their new losses that have brought back memories of old losses, thinking back about the worlds that they came from. And it's not good when there's too much time. And it's really important to sit down with them and ask them what the symptoms are. And you might find out that trouble with nerves means something very, very different than what you would imagine when they tell you that. You're going to talk about having... Okay. Jenny's going to talk now specifically about some issues that come up with people who don't have children nearby or don't have involved family nearby.
And being from Southeast Florida, that's huge. What we've actually created in Southeast Florida, which may only really happen a few other places in the country, is we've created ghettos. And I know that's real symbolic, but we have all these gated communities. It's as difficult to get in. And once you're in and you become sick or disabled, or your neighbors are no longer able to provide support, you're stuck and you can't get out. And she would go in as the only person who would actually sit with her on the mattress and just hold her while Gitta was in a fetal position until, and this went on for every day for months until she died. So sometimes it's literally even the touching, not just the symbolism of being family.
The last thing, here's my secret tool, which I almost never use, but makes me feel good to know that it's up my sleeve, is that if things start to escalate, then what I say is, let's meet again when things are calmer. Let's meet again when things are less heated. I don't say when you are less heated, when you are calmer. When you calm down, I say when things are less heated, when things are a little bit calmer. And then I immediately follow up with, do you want to give me a call tomorrow and we'll set up an appointment time? So that way he knows I'm not just brushing him off, I'm very serious about the fact that I want to meet with him. And honestly, he almost always forgets to call back the next day. So anyways, that was my anger presentation. I'd be willing to take questions if anyone has them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Jenny and Elisa. It was a really good presentation, so thank you for your time. Thank you very much for coming, and
Thank
it's
you.
lunchtime.
You've been a wonderful audience.